With The Sea-Wolf, Jack London has created a novel that can be read in two ways. When I read this story for the first time at the age of 13, I only saw the adventure on the high seas in it. But when I picked it up again 10 years later, I recognized the deep philosophical confrontation between the weak Humphrey von Weyden and the mighty Wolf Larsen. Unworldly education meets the raw art of living. Affirmation of life meets contempt for life. I held that life was a ferment, a yeasty something which devoured life that it might live, and that living was merely successful piggishness. There's only so much water, so much earth, so much air. But the life that is demanding to be born is limitless. Nature is a spendthrift. Look at the fish and the millions of eggs. For that matter, look at you and me. In your loins are the possibilities of millions of lives. Could we but find time and opportunity to utilize the last bit and every bit of the unborn life that is in us, we could become the fathers of nations and populate continents. Life? Bah! It has no value. Of all the cheap things, it is the cheapest. Everywhere it goes begging. Nature spills it out with a lavish hand. Where there is room for one life, she sows 1,000 lives, and its life eats life till the strongest and most piggish life is left. Why should I be parsimonious with this life which is cheap and without value? There are more sailors than there are ships on the seas for them, more workers than there are factories or machines for them. You, who live on the land, know that you house your poor people in the slums of cities and lose famine and pestilence upon them, and that there still remain more poor people dying for want of a crust of bread and a bit of meat, which is life destroyed, than you know what to do with. Have you ever seen the London dockers fighting like wild beasts for a chance to work? Do you know the only value life has is what life puts upon itself? And it is of course overestimated, since it is of necessity prejudiced in its own favor. Take that man I had aloft. He held on as if he were precious, a treasure beyond diamonds and rubies. To you? No. To me? Not at all. To himself? Yes. But I do not accept his estimate. He sadly overrates himself. There is plenty more life demanding to be born. Had he fallen and dripped his brains upon the deck like honey from the comb, there would have been no loss to the world. He was worth nothing to the world. The supply is too large. To himself only was he of value. And to show how fictitious even his value was, being dead, he is unconscious that he has lost himself. He alone rated himself beyond diamonds and rubies. Diamonds and rubies are gone, spread out on the deck to be washed away by a bucket of seawater. And he does not even know that the diamonds and rubies are gone. He does not lose anything, for with the loss of himself, he loses the knowledge of loss.